Hello friends, so welcome to this demo. So in this particular lecture, we'll see how we can enable the advanced data security onto the onto your Azure SQL Server. So if you remember in the previous or theory lecture, we have discovered that this advanced security or advanced data security is a kind of a package with the help of which once you enable that, you'll get options or you get uh, security features like data discovery and classification, vulnerability assessment, and threat detection in case of any anomalous activities to your database or if there is a threat to the database. So we'll get all these capabilities, mainly three capabilities: data discovery and classification, vulnerability assessment, and threat detection. So let's see how we can enable that. So go to your SQL database. We'll use the same SQL database which we have used for our previous demos. So I'll come to the advanced data security enablement on SQL database later on, but let's discuss these onto the SQL Server first. So go into the security option and then you'll get the option of advanced data security. Just click on that. So by default, when you'll create a new database, it gives you the option that whether you want to enable or not. So it gives you the costing association and all those things. So if you'll click on that, you'll get this particular window. So I'll click on advanced data security on, and then this is the vulnerability assessment. So I'll upload a separate lecture onto the data discovery and classification. So in this lecture from the advanced data security feature, we'll use how we can enable the vulnerability assessment and advanced threat protection. So the first is vulnerability assessment. You can use the subscription name which you are using. So I'm using the free trial. So by default, a storage account is created along with that when you enable the vulnerability assessment. So I'll be using, so this is the storage account. You can say vulnerability assessment has been created. So there is an option you get that whether you want to scan your database or not, right? So it almost scan your database uh, every 7 days and recommend gives you recommendations and that vulnerability detail reports. So you can click on the periodic scan reports and you can provide the email address to it, which the email should go. I can provide my email address and then it will send me the reports that these are the vulnerabilities, high, medium, low, all these details it will give. All you can also get send notifications to the admins and subscription owners. So all these options are there. So now if there is any kind of threat or malicious activity to your database is detected by Azure, because since we have enabled the advanced data security, so it will send an email to this particular user or a admin. And the other very good option is that you can basically select that for what kind of threats basically Microsoft or Azure sends you an alert or sends you the detailed information. In the theory lecture, we have seen that detailed information is given that somebody is trying to do a SQL injection, all those things from which IP. So you can set all these settings from here. So you can set whether all settings or a SQL injection or a SQL injection vulnerability, brute force. So all these threats you can basically enable and Microsoft will check and send you the detailed reports for that. And this is the another recommendation it gives, and we have already discussed on to the auditing so that we can correlate if there is any activity. So this is how we can enable advanced data security onto your SQL server. So just click on save. It will take 1 or 2 seconds to enable that. And once it gets saved, so see it is saved. Now what we can do is now you can go to the SQL databases, and this is the database we have created already. And under security, you'll get the option of advanced data security. And if you'll click on settings, you'll be able to get the detail how can enable that. So from here also you can go to the server settings. And see, Microsoft recommends that you enable your advanced data security on a SQL server, and then automatically all the databases which are created on that particular server or a SQL server, those all will on those this advanced data security will be enabled. But let's say if an organization or you have a specific requirement or there is a separate database, some highly confidential or some general database for which you want to have a different billing or different team wants to have a notification for that, then you can go ahead and enable the advanced data security at the database level. Otherwise, Microsoft recommends at the server level. So here you get the notification of a Microsoft as well that alerts for this database only. Generally, we recommend enabling advanced data security at the server level until you have a specific particular requirement to generate separate alerts. So let's say, do you want to continue? If I'll click on yes, I'll get all the same options and I can choose the subscription, different storage account, different email address, and all those options I can get. So we are not going to save this information or enter this information because we have already done that. And this is how we can enable the advanced data security at the database level. So let me show you one another option. When you go to your SQL database and when you click on advanced data security, you'll get the vulnerability details and all those details over here. So let's click on here. You'll get details about the vulnerabilities which are high, medium, low, their ranking and their details. All this information you'll get over here. You can see the recommendation that okay, auditing should be enabled at the server level, DBO user should not be used, track all users with access to database, and the risk whether it is high, medium, low. So all these information you'll get from here, and the dashboard that okay, how many checks have failed, how many checks have passed. So all this information you'll be able to get here. So these 5 checks failed and these 45 checks got passed. So these are the different recommendations it provides to you. So this is it, friends. Hope now you have a clarity onto the advanced data security feature for SQL Server. So thank you. Thank you for watching this lecture. Meet you in the next lecture.